And we're live from the RGN Pro Series, same venue as the iBuy Power Cup, and the first person I have with me for the first interview is SPUNJ. It's been a kind of a helter-skelter day for both me and you. How are you feeling?
Yeah, pretty good. A couple of delays, but we're all done now, so pretty happy.
There's like public statements I want to get to in this interview, but first let's talk about the games. Actually, were you impressed by Enemy?
Yeah, definitely. They're very sharp. Unconventional plays, like they were using a lot of not gimmicky but like risky moves like pushes and stuff to catch us off guard, especially on their CT side. And yeah, they just have the basics down of Counter-Strike, so pretty impressed by how they're playing.
What about CLG? Did it feel good to, as Gomez told me, win the BO3?
Yeah, sure. Like it would have felt better if we had won on the weekend as well, iBuy Power, and actually made it into the round of 8, but that wasn't to be. But yeah, it's good to get a win versus them. They're a very good side. They have very good fundamentals, and it's always a challenge playing them.
Okay, now we're going to move into the meat of the interview. There were someone replied to your statements from the iBuy Power Cup and basically said that you're making excuses. Is there something you want to say about that?
Yeah, so I actually messaged Semler. I'm assuming that's who you're referring to, the video.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I messaged him on Twitter before our game versus CLG, and I just asked him if we are making excuses, because I pride ourselves on the fact that we don't make excuses. Like, sure, people might make excuses for us, like, oh, they're jet lagged, or all this, or they don't have a good practice, or whatever. People might say those kind of things, but personally, from my perspective, I don't look at it like that. And what I said on the stage, I don't think it was an excuse. What I was a bit riled up. I probably shouldn't have said what I said, and I probably could have articulated it a lot better and actually got the point across that I was trying to achieve. But I just think that with my team, for some reason, and this is I look at my team through rose-colored glasses and stuff like that. That's my team, but I feel like we get not forgotten about, but when we do something good, it seems like it's the other team doing something bad, and then our result seems to be forgotten. But then at the same time, I can kind of understand why that is. We lost to Easy Skins, which is unacceptable. That's kind of what sent me into a pretty depressed spiral for a couple of months there. We had up and down results, we beat Titan, but then we lose to Easy Skins, and then we beat CLG, and then we get 16-0'd by Luminosity and stuff, and it's not acceptable. And I can't think of an excuse to make. There's no there's no rationale for us being like that, other than it's our own fault and we need to fix our problems. So we sit there and we talk as a team, and we don't make excuses for ourselves. We go, this is an issue, this is an issue, this is an issue. And if things just don't get better, then we just fucking suck. That's basically it.
Well, you talk about your team being sort of forgotten, or if the other team wins, it's like something they did, or if you win, sorry. But could that be because today teams are defined with a certain kind of texture? Like, it's usually a carry player and he's carrying, or it's like everybody's a superstar, and whereas for your team it's like maybe the way I feel it's presented is that sometimes there's no carry, or there's no roles on the team.
Yeah, I guess we have players who show up some days and who don't on others, which is pretty much unheard of nowadays. Like you said, lots of teams have their star players and they always seem to frag, and it's something that we kind of need to address. Is it me with bad in-game leading, putting my players in different positions every time we play, and the star fraggers can't do what they need to do? Am I not calling the right strategies to let my star fraggers shine? Do we have issues as a team, saddling up and coming to the events and being switched on? Those are all questions that we have to ask ourselves, and that's a very good point. I'm sure there's lots of things to the argument that we could look at, but I just think we need to, as a team, play better, and that's simple. Today, we got 3 wins, but that last game versus Enemy was really close, 16-14. They almost got the draw. That would have given them the first seed, and that would have sucked. But lucky Havoc clutched that 1v1. But yeah, I just think I don't think we make excuses. I definitely don't think we make excuses for ourselves. And we understand when we play bad. We're the ones who get hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people messaging us on Twitter like death threats and saying fuck you for losing all my skins and shit. We're the ones who sit there and we cop all of that. And I understand that casters and everything, they have to critique the players. That's their job. I get it. But I just think I probably just overreacted. Sorry, everybody.
Do you mind the memification of that statement, though? People put it to that when I'm Renegades thing, and it's the rounds going by and then 16-0? Or do you think that's just a learning experience with the Luminosity result?
Any publicity is good publicity. It sucks to lose, and it sucks to lose 16-0. and that's going to be with us for the whole time we play. So is the loss to Easy Skins, so is the loss to Australian teams, but everybody has stuff like that, you know? Until we can actually build a legacy and a name for ourselves that like deserves for that stuff to be forgotten, I'm more than happy for people to say whatever they want. It's not something which I go to bed at night and I go, oh shit, I'm crying because fucking a guy from some miss country is talking shit. Like that's kind of my, it's my job, you know, to not to cop shit, but I'm in the limelight, you know, I'm going to expect to cop shit. I just, like, from the people who are in the know, I would just expect more. But at the same time, like I said, it's their job to critique people. So to inflate storylines and make them seem more interesting for the general public benefits me in the long run also. So, yeah.
All right, well, let's conclude with going into your legacy. What you guys won't be at San Jose, but what's kind of the future? I mean, I don't know if people know, but I heard you guys are going to try to stay until June in the U.S.
So we're going home for Christmas. We're going to be here till mid-December. That might change, might be a little bit earlier depending on what kind of events we have. I don't know what online leagues we're kind of signed up for. I know there's a couple, but I haven't heard anything more of when they're starting or when that'll be. I'm assuming we'll be back mid to late January, and basically the next tournament after RGN for us that is guaranteed will be Turner. We're in that league. So whenever that's announced to be starting, that's basically our main focus at this point. That's why we need to get better for that. And then, we come back to the States and basically just use this as an opportunity to get in some practice. Hopefully, I would like to maybe go over to Europe for a boot camp as well, maybe before some of the bigger tournaments start, just to really gear us up. But that's basically it for the US.
Final question, will we ever see you meowing a song again?
Probably. I do some pretty stupid stuff on stream. I'm going to be streaming a lot more when we get back to Vegas because we don't have the same level of commitments and stuff like with these events. So, tune in, you might catch it.
Actually, I just realized since last time we talked, were you with Renegades at USWC?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That was our first event with Renegades.
Never mind. All right, guys. Never mind that. But that concludes our interview with SPUNJ, who had some pretty deep things to say about his team and overall. So just we're going to keep covering the RGN Pro Series, and stay wild. What would you say to the people? Stay wild, stay beautiful?
Bloody oath, mate. Cobber, how you going? Put a shrimp on the barbie. Dingo got my baby. Australia.
Diggity.